But Christmas.
Ho ho ho.
It came out. Talk about that.
Banana Bear Show.
So I was on like a little sabbatical to the Philippines, but then I saw a leaked teaser for something that, like, for horror, I love. Mikey, I love Terrifier.
Yes.
Terrifier 2 was so good. It came out last year in October, and it made a ton of money, like a lot, for an indie movie. Now, a lot of people said maybe it's because of the pandemic. The guy had so much time to make this grand, epic masterpiece of killing and gore and all this stuff, and making a new horror icon, which has completely taken the reins of the killer clown from Pennywise. It's art's in front.
Yes.
So much so I think I want a tattoo of him so bad with those glasses.
Wow.
So the rumor was that, like, they were going to make give a teaser, because this Halloween they were going to show Terrifier and Terrifier 2 in theaters and give a little sneak peek of the Terrifier 3.
Yes.
And I don't think it happened. But then this happened. Teaser of Terrifier 3, and it's not in Halloween. It's on Christmas. Yes. Which is kind of funny, because the last time this actor was in a horror movie and it was Christmas was that stupid green mean the mean one.
Oh, Grinch.
Movie.
The Grinch horror movie.
Do not watch. It was bad.
My daughter watched it and said it was stupid.
Okay, all right, so you know. Yeah, like, everyone makes fun of that Winnie Pooh movie, but that movie was like a freaking Godfather compared to that one.
Nice.
You know? So the teaser, we're not going to show it due to copy right issues, but it's basically a kid waking up Christmas Eve.
Yep.
And he sees Santa, and he's like, Santa! And then it turns, and it's not Santa, it's Art the Clown in a Santa suit.
Yep.
And then he pulls out a axe, and he starts doing his little and it goes Terrifier 3 with a little reef. Yeah, like that.
That's perfect stop.
Dude, I love Art the Clown. He's like, and like, explaining it to a non-horror fan, they don't get it.
No.
But like, dude, he has so much charisma without saying anything. Like, he's Freddy Krueger without the puns.
Yeah, it's just the facial expressions, and then just the way he's cartoony without like making it, like, I don't know, it's weird. Like, he makes it creepy.
Yeah, it's like any of the twirl, like, villains in cartoons, like like exaggerating, and then
like
obviously
that, right there.
Yeah, and obviously he's gonna kill a kid.
Yeah,
and everyone. Now, I guess there was some backlash because there's crowdfunding, obviously, for this, kind of like the last one, but it kind of got a little hit because they're like, "Oh my God, you kill a kid!"
He's done it.
Did
before.
you not see the last couple? Killing a kid off screen is nothing compared to, I don't know, chopping a woman half the JJ first,
or the salt.
Oh yeah, or I forgot what they called it. Just hard to kill, like, because she wasn't dead. Like,
yeah,
it just kept coming.
Yeah,
and like, and I remember the interview that the director said. He's like, this one's going to be like the hardest to write because he always wants to go a step further. Obviously, Terrifier, the first one, that splitting down the middle, that's pretty, like, out there. You go a little more, that's like cruel.
Yeah.
If you go cruel, it's not fun anymore.
Right.
And
Which she walked the line in the second one with the salt and
because
alive.
It was comedic because of the timing, and it was bleach and salt. Like, what? It was more like, wow. And then, like, adding on top of that, like, the mother comes in and then, Mom, and he's like, get it? Because she's not dead.
Yeah.
Like, it's a sick humor to it, right?
Yeah.
And me personally, I think he's gonna like it's good. We're gonna get to the point where it's cruel. This one's gonna have a cruel one.
Did he not bite that boy in the last one?
Yeah, he bit the ankle.
Yeah, he bit the ankle and was like biting, like gnawing on him.
Yeah. Because technically we still don't know what he is.
Yeah.
I personally think he's a demon. And like in this universe, demons have clown makeup on. Because that little girl is obviously a real demon with the glowing eyes. And he's kind of like casted like as like, I don't know, the harbinger of like, see, at first I thought it was someone with Halloween, but it's not because obviously it's now on Christmas.
Right. I don't think that we'll ever
truly know.
Yeah, because I mean he's based off of it, and we don't know its true origin.
Yeah, we do.
It's not shown in the movies, right?
In the book we know it's a being that was outside of this universe that was created by we don't know.
Right.
With a floating fucking turtle.
We know a general description of, we might get that, like a general, like, hey, he came from
but I don't think it's like a Cthulhu based thing like it. Like it's like a cosmic being that we can't fathom what it is. This is just like a demonic presence that we don't know why it does it. How we know he's immortal. We don't know if it was a person before.
Right. I don't think we'll ever know. I think the most we'll get is he's a demon.
I hope we find out a little like why he's tied with the main character in 2, because that main character was so badass.
Yeah, I don't.
She's got to be in this one.
He needs to stay away from it. I think he needs to go back to just the random killings.
No, I want the random killings because it's going to happen regardless. But like having her in there, she was so good because like she was so generic, right? And like hot. I'll say she was a generic, really hot girl.
Okay.
But then they put this mythos like, no, she's like badass, like trying to get a little Ripley in her. And we get it at the end where she's kind of like reborn because she dies and then comes back with bad electricity effects, and then slices his head off.
Yeah. And then he comes back, but
it gets birthed.
I don't know. With Terrifier 3, I think they need to kind of back off the storyline and not explain so much, because that's not what makes Terrifier 1 good. That's not the good parts you remember from Terrifier 2. You remember the gruesome kills.
But the hook though of trying to find out more made it last longer.
I think trying to putting the hook in there is going to bring new people in.
Yeah, it Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I think he needs to back off of it a little bit and quit trying to explain so much. Or he's not really explaining anything. He's making more of like the box, the Abram box, where he's like, oh, here's the box.
Oh, it's not this, but inside the box, he'll know.
I think he made too big of a box with the second movie.
I mean, if he simplifies it, just saying, okay, he's a demon.
Yeah, he needs to bring it back around in 3 and just kind of, I don't know. I feel like it's going to be too hard with the people who are really invested in 2. Like you and I, we start out with 1 where there are no expectations. We're like, we like the horror and the gore. And
the surprise of like, oh, the main character got shot in the middle of the film, and now we have a new one.
Yeah, that's what Terrifier is to us.
Yeah, and then he shoots himself, and then he's alive. You're like, what? And the big draw is like, okay, he's more than just a killer clown,
right? And
then the second one, he's more than a killer clown, and now he has that girl. And like, if they explain the girl a little bit and not art, maybe it'll help. Like simplifying it, don't make it like fucking Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
Because then they started getting into like, oh, the robots run off of souls. Like, fucking what? No. It was just better like, oh, they're possessed. Oh, it was like a random occurrence. And then the guy that did it got his comeuppance and got trapped in a suit, and the same thing happened to him. Right. But now it's like, oh, I always come back, and now it's like, oh, he's a cyber thing. Nah, bro, you were just a killer, and and yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he needs to. I think he jumped too far ahead in the story. Like, having the girl should have been like, maybe start showing her in 3 or 4.
So I think the biggest thing is like your complaint, and something that kind of hurt the thing. There's that dream sequence, right?
Yeah,
where it's like the Clown Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
Love the song, but it's too much like Freddy, right?
Yeah,
but then they never go back to the dreams.
right.
And then somehow her falling into that pit, she's in the dream.
Yeah.
So is that hell? Because there's a monster in that water thing she was in.
Mm-hmm. And it may have healed her.
No, it didn't heal her. It was dragging her down.
It was dragging her down, and then she got healed.
Because the sword started going, and then she went, like she died, and her dying made her get possessed by this warrior thing that her dad like drew.
Oh,
which
okay.
So if they bring something up like, okay, the dad knew, because like obviously the first thing I wanted to hear, but it doesn't make sense that somehow Art the Clown is linked to her dad, but then it doesn't make sense because all the killings were drawn, and the dad didn't die until after Terrifier 1, so he couldn't be Art the Clown,
right?
Because they were talking about like, oh, the little girl died in that Terrifier, like the part that had the horror house called Terrifier.
Mm-hmm.
So like the demon possessed the kid or is using the kid as a vessel. Like now you're getting to the point where like, okay, now you're explaining this with another explanation. What's going on? There's a point where a horror thing could get too big.
Mm-hmm.
Like Freddy, they tried doing it, but it was so simple. Like, oh, he's a dream guy. Oh, he got dream demons.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the bastard son of 1,000 maniacs. How's that possible? Only one could like be his father.
Right.
How is he immortal? How did 2 happen? Well, 2's technically because gay. Like, like trying to explain it is so dumb. You got to walk around things. You don't want that.
No.
You want it kind of like Jason before like New Line took it, where it's like, okay, it doesn't make sense how a boy died, but he didn't die because he lived. But the mother was like, oh, my boy died. I'm going to kill everybody. And then he comes back and he's a full grown guy with red ginger hair. And then the next movie, he's bald. And then he dies, and then he comes back, and then dies and comes back,
dies again, comes back,
and then you get Jason goes to hell. Oh, demon worm thing that he goes into.
Okay, we get it. Yeah, it's too much.
It gets weird, or like
it's too much.
Halloween,
like
the thorn thing. Like, oh, he's gonna impregnate his own family member. That's weird.
So really, he needs to cut it back with 3 and kind of. He needs to answer more questions than he gives.
Than giving questions to.
Yeah. But he still needs to give those questions, and he still needs to leave it kind of ambiguous. Vague. Yeah. But I think it's going to be good because it seems like, he's still pushing the boundaries. I think the people getting upset because he's killing a child, because it's happened before. I mean, he's killed children before off screen. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. There's more shocking things you could do.
There's been kids killed in other movies. It happens.
You know what he hasn't done yet, and I'm so glad. What? I don't think he's ever killed an animal.
That might be next time.
No. Everyone knows if you kill an animal, that cool horror icon thing is kind of dampered. That's why like Michael kind of got some hits with that Rob Zombie. He's eating dogs. Everyone's like, what the fuck?
That's weird.
Yeah, Rob Zombie's Michael Myers sucked balls. Like, he was stupid. Yeah, he was tall. Die. Like, oh, God.
You don't think that Art would kill a dog, though, if it was attacking him?
But it wouldn't.
You sure?
It wouldn't attack him. Because that situation would never... If you're a good enough writer, you don't have to show that. You know what I mean? Like,
fair. Like
Freddy never, like, really killed an animal. But the remake he did, I'm just petting it.
Okay. Yeah. I think the outrage is stupid for this. I think it's going to be a good movie, hopefully. maybe.
Oh, it's gonna be good. Is it gonna be better than 2? I don't. A little part of me says no.
He's already said he's going back to the more of a 1 formula, so that's good.
Okay, so it won't be going through a maze and doing like a couple fake killings before.
No,
but just
no more dream sequences, please.
But I did like that song. That Clown Cafe song was like stuck in my head.
I think
and it got me this idea because like I was going to do like this horror thing for Horrorama. I'm just going to do it next year where like, it'd be funny if he had his own faction and call it the Clown Cafe and have like Sweet Tooth in there and like, I don't know, Captain Spaulding, because Captain Spaulding would be the mouthpiece, obviously, because he's a good talker.
Right.
But
yeah.
I don't know. I hate clowns. Like, clowns are stupid to me. I hate the whole concept of it. But I love Captain Spaulding. I love Art. I love Sweet Tooth. Like, those are great, but they're not your traditional clowns.
Right. Isn't
Sweet Tooth as a clown. It's a clown.
No, I was thinking more of Art. He's a clown, but he's more of like a mime clown.
But his name is Art the Clown.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And he's based off of It. But
he's loosely based off of It.
Yeah. That's where the director got his inspiration from. Yeah,
but I mean, I personally think he's better than Art than Pennywise. Because Pennywise, like I said, it feeds off of kids' fear. This guy doesn't care. He just kills you. Not just kills you, he brutally kills you.
Right. Like, Pennywise has rules. Art does not.
Yeah, and that's what makes him awesome.
Yeah. They just need to be careful not to pin him down to that, because whenever they start, like we were talking about earlier, if they start explaining too much, he's going to have rules.
And weaknesses then.
Mm-hmm.
And then him, like, in, like, let's say, like, one of those horror things that we did, like, in Horrorama 8, where it's like, okay, Candyman versus, like, Pinhead. Candyman has some weaknesses. Pinhead doesn't. So Pinhead wins. Like, Art the Clown, I think he did get, like, killed by Candyman, but hell, now, if we did that again, I'm pretty sure Art the Clown would go a lot further now.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he got birthed out of a former victim.
His head got birthed.
Yeah, and did a little wiki.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a good movie. What do you think?
I do. Like I said, I think it's going to be better than Terrifier, but not better than Terrifier 2. Terrifier 2 is going to be like the gold standard, because I'm pretty sure they're going to do this one and one more, and then that's it. It's done.
Interesting.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. If this one does awesome, they're going to do 4. If that does awesome, they're going to do 5.
No, what he needs to do...
You have to do that, though. It's a horror thing.
I'm going to give him some advice right now. He needs to do his stuff, make as much money as he can. I would just set out, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and done. And then sell it, and then let whatever company just take it away. He's made his money. He goes and does something else. Done. You're set.
I still think it's funny that the people that, like, did Art the Clown, they're, like, telling, like Dead by Daylight, like, hey, use him. And everyone's like, yeah, hell, that makes sense. Yeah. He's a clown. Knife. Or, like, his whole ability could be that bag. And, like, his special thing could be a random weapon. It could be long, small. Like, it's random. And, like, I don't know. They just they did something. This is, like, could be a separate video. Mm-hmm. It doesn't need to be, though. Like, Dead by Daylight just announced Chucky.
Yeah.
We were making jokes like they would never do it.
Yep.
How the hell is Chucky going to drag you? They figured out a way.
Yep.
Because Dead by Daylight is running out of time where, like, dude, like, it's like, it can't be like Fortnite and just keep adding.
What if it's multiple Chuckies that grab you?
I don't know. Because I didn't do that much research. I just saw it.
Right.
And I posted it on the group thing that we use.
Yeah.
But like, dude, because to me, Dead by Daylight is cool. Like, yeah, original character, blah, blah, blah. But brah, everyone knows you play it because you want to play that horror icon that you can't do in any other game.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Art the Clown should be in there. If this does well, he will be in Dead by Daylight.
Maybe. We'll see.
Like, it's just a skin for another killer.
And with that, go check us out on YouTube at Banana Bear Show and be sure to like, subscribe. Tell us what you think about Terrifier 3 in the comments. And do you think it's going to be any good? And we'll see you next video. Bye.